Hi, this is math for real people. So what I'm showing you in this video is how to solve for a variable with one-step equation, meaning one thing is happening to your variable when something is being subtracted. So if we started with something like this, so x minus 3 equals 10. Now we know what minus 3 equals 10 if we thought about it, right? Because remember, that's what it's saying. What minus 3 equals 10, that's what a variable stands for. So another thing we have to remember are the steps. So if you've been watching these videos in order, you know the steps. If you haven't, let's talk about the steps. We need to look at this and look only on the side of our equal sign with our variable. So we look at the x minus 3. Our goal is to get x by itself. So we have to ask ourselves this question. Step 1. What is happening to our variable? So what's happening? And I'm just going to leave it like that. What's happening to our variable, because that's what we care about? Well, something's being subtracted from it. We need to get rid of that. So what's the opposite? What is the opposite of subtracting? You are correct. It is adding. We need to add 3 to this side. So what's happening? Something's being subtracted. So step 2, do the opposite. And the reason we did that is because this turns into 0. So we have x minus or plus 0. So really, we have nothing there. We don't need to put that. That's annoying. So we have x equals, well, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Because remember, an equal sign is like a balance. So if you take something away from one side, you have to take it away from the other. As long as it's balanced, you're good. In this case, we're adding something to one side, so we got to get that back up to be equal to it. So we need to do the same thing to the opposite side. So that's step 3. My beautiful handwriting. So we add 3 to this side, and we get x equals 13. And then remember, you can check this by plugging in for x. So we got 13 for x, so we plug in 13 minus 3. Is that equal to 10? Yes, it is, sir, ma'am. So 13 minus 3 equals 10. You got it. So let me say it again without as much talking. So we started with x minus 3 equals 10. We're looking for what minus 3 equals 10. Well, what's happening to the side with our variable? It's being subtracted. So we need to do the opposite. We need to add 3. So we added 3. Whatever we do to one side, we do the same thing to the other side. So we added 3 to this side. And that got us our answer. So now let's do it again in a real situation, because it turns out this might be a real situation. So let's say you don't know how much money you need to have, but you know that you want to end up with, let's say, $300. You need to end up with $300 after working, but you owe your dad $57. So you're going to need to subtract $57 from your paycheck to give to your dad, or your mom, or your aunt, or your uncle, somebody. So you owe someone $57. So you know you want $300 to make it through the week, to buy something you want, whatever. So that's how you'd set it up. Your total amount minus 57 needs to equal $300, maybe for you to live. I don't know. So you look at this and you say, okay, well, what's happening? It's being subtracted. Great. So I need to get it by itself. I need to do the opposite. I need to add 57. So then we bring it down and we say x plus 0, but we don't need to write that because that's annoying, equals $357. Now obviously that one was a little bit easier, but it gave you a situation. And when problems get harder in different situations, you know the steps to do it. Okay, so that's math for real, people.